J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone my Saved by the Bell 2020 review. Just a quick insight of my history with Saved by the Bell. So I actually watched Good Morning Miss Bliss. I watched all the episodes of that, and then I became pretty hooked on the original Saved by the Bell show. I lived vicariously through some of those characters, mainly Zach, and I had obsessions with some of those characters, mainly Kelly, Tiffany Thiessen, and I've actually met Tiffany Thiessen, that played Kelly, and Elizabeth Berkley, that played Jesse Spano, on Saved by the Bell. And I always loved that show. It was like the first show that I binge watched a lot. Now, to give you guys some insight as well, I did not binge watch Saved by the Bell, the old one, before I watched the new one. I just kind of went with it, because do I really want to sit and watch 4 seasons of Saved by the Bell? I watched a couple moments here, the couple of moments where Zach proposes to Kelly, and then he goes to say bon voyage, and then she says yes, and all that in the college years show. But I was really excited to see what they were going to do with this new Saved by the Bells. I knew most of the characters were coming back to have at least some sort of role on it. So this review is not going to be super in-depth. I'm not going to talk about everything that happened in each episode. I didn't take any notes. I'm just going by memory alone. And then I'll give my score of the season overall. So we start with the first episode, and we get a cheesy campaign commercial, as it appears that Mack Morris is now the governor of California. Don't know how he got in that position, but it's a cheesy commercial with him and Kelly Kapowski, or Kelly Morris, and it's interesting to say the least. So that was what we got of Zach in the first episode, Zach and Kelly. And the main plot focus of this particular Saved by the Bell is that there's a school that closes due to budget cuts by Governor Morris, Douglas High, where a lot of students transfers from Douglas High to Bayside. And those are kind of our main characters on this. So let's just give a breakdown of what's going on with this particular show. First of all, there are some old cast members that return for more than just cameos. Mario Lopez, who plays AC Slater, is the Bayside physical education or gym teacher. And Jessica Spano, which her last name is something else now, and I can't remember her character's last name. She's married. She is the guidance counselor, and she has a degree. She has a book out and all that stuff. Dr. Spano, awesome. Good to see Jesse and Slater back. And then we also have the kids that transfer from Douglas High. I would say our main character would be Daisy Jimenez, and then her friend Aisha, and then their friend, who is like a guy that people want to recruit for football and all that. But this guy's a theater guy. He wants to sing. He wants to perform, and that would be Devontae. So they all transfer from Douglas High. And they're interesting characters. Daisy kind of has the Zach Morris role where she can go, time out, which is hilarious. And there's scenes where you see her talking on the large bar-style phone that Zach had in the early 90s, first Saved by the Bell. So that's interesting. And then her friend Aisha is somebody that wants to play football. And Slater's like, no, because he's a football coach. He's like, no, we don't want a girl playing football. And then he talks to Jesse, and Jesse's like, well, let her play, this is a new era. This is new things happen these days. So Slater actually gives her a tryout, and then lets her become the starting quarterback for the Bayside Tigers. And the former starting quarterback on that team was Jesse's son, who is Jamie Spano. That's very interesting. So, and I must say, with these characters, a lot of them are okay. But there's some characters that are just over-the-top stupid that annoyed the hell out of me. So with my score, I'm going to be factoring in the annoying characters. And I would say Jesse's son is one of the most annoying characters on the show because he's so stupid. I mean, you can't teach stupid that way. And he's just, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's a village idiot times 100. So he's upset, but he's like a guy that makes, I don't know, I don't want to go into that, but he's just irritants. Now we also have a character, Mack Morris, who is Zach and Kelly's son, who for the most part looks a little bit like Zach, has the nice hair and all that, and he's pretty funny actually. He's one of the standout characters on the show, and I think Daisy's really good too, with her timeout and her cell phone that she has, which is hilarious, by the way. And another thing that really bothered me is Aisha and Jamie get into this relationship really quick, like super quick, and it's like, whoa, that was pretty forced. And then you also have Lexi, who is like the it girl at Bayside, but used to be a guy sort of thing. Yeah, we're having that stuff on this, which I actually like this character a lot, surprisingly. I didn't think I was going to like this character, but this character is pretty awesome and one of the better characters on the show. Sometimes over the top, but a good over the top. Unlike the idiot, and then I'll get into another character who I didn't like. But Lexi is really good. She's pretty good friends with Mac, and obviously she's friends with... she's actually has a love interest, or she's in love with Jamie. That's one of the plot points through the whole season. And then you have Devante that goes in the theater and kind of forms like a tag team with her, which is really interesting because he can sing and do all these interesting things. And then that leads me to Principal Ron Todman. I like this actor, John Michael Higgins. He's kind of a character, you know, he's in some movies. He's in like a Blade movie. He's in what's the movie with Jennifer? Breakup, I believe. But he is so over the top and so psychotic. How does this guy even have a job? That's what I'm wondering. Like, the things he says, the things he does, I don't know. I mean, he's okay, but he's so over the top. I don't know. And they don't mention Mr. Belding at all. They do have a moment where Douglas High's about to reopen potentially, and they want to send all the students back to that school that came to Bayside from there. And he goes there, meets up with another principal that he's friends with, and they have like a handshake that says, like, what is going on here? And that's, you know, Mr. Belding. Hey, what is going on here? That's one thing I caught, but other than that, I don't think they mentioned Mr. Belding at all. There are mentions of Screech in this. He's apparently on a space station with Kevin, his robot, doing some things. You know, based on what I know and based on what I've heard, I think they're going to bring Screech in this. As long as, like, he stays okay and doesn't have any episodes or anything like that, you know, in his personal life, I think they're going to bring him back for season 2 if they have a season 2. Just my thoughts. And, of course, I guess I forgot to mention, they do have a cameo from Lisa, as Lisa has, like, she's in Paris or something like that, as, of course, a fashion designer and whatnot. So those are the characters. You know, you have another subplot is Jessie is getting annoyed with her husband. He's, like, always off for 5 to 6 months doing these weird things, and she finally snaps and, like, tells him to come home and whatever. Then he comes home and she's like, no, I'm done with you. You don't do anything I want you to do. You know. So I think for season 2, if they have a season 2, which I bet they will, I think Jesse and Slater might get back together, possibly, and we shall see. Another thing happened was, you know, I talked about the relationship with Aisha and Jamie. Well, at the end of the season, because they kind of slightly broke up, but they didn't, and then, like, Jamie is talking to Lexi, and then they start to kiss, and Aisha sees that, and she's, like, upset. Not sure we're going to go with that, but I thought that Aisha and Jamie hooked up way too fast, and I knew that was only destined for failure. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Daisy, and I should mention there's a couple other characters that have very minor roles. Of course, Max from the Max, he's back in 2 episodes, the premiere and the finale. And then we also get a cameo for Mr. Dewey. If anybody remembers him, he is back. I think he's in 1 episode, just walking to his class or something like that. So that's good to see Mr. Dewey. And then the whole end of the episode is the kids that were at Douglas High, they don't want to go back to Douglas High because it's about to reopen. And so they have like a protest at the school. And Mac gets Zach to, you know, Governor Morris to come, and Zach gives this speech and whatnot, and then they make him do another speech because he didn't really mean the first one, and Zach passes an executive order that the kids don't have to go, suspending school transfers for, I don't remember how long it was, but that's how that ends. And then at the end, we have Zach and Kelly at the max making out and that. And then the season ends with Mack, Zach and Kelly's son. Was it a call or a text message saying something about coronavirus? So obviously this was filming and had to stop filming it was mid-March. And then they got back to filming again in August, but I think they were almost done. So obviously the pandemic should play some sort of role in season 2 of Saved by the Bell. But it was interesting. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I just can't cover so much in this, though. I remember vague details of what happened, but I didn't write anything down. I didn't want to give episode reviews because I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy them if I was doing that. But honestly, as many flaws as it may have, it's actually highly entertaining. My initial score was 6.8 out of 10, which for a rebooted series that has mainly new characters with a couple old characters having minor roles, not too bad. I'm almost deciding to give it a 7.2. So we'll stick with the 6.8, but some reason now I want to change it to a 7.2 out of 10. I think if you're a fan of the original Saved by the Bell and you watch it knowing it's a new show with new characters, with a few old characters making appearances here and there, you may like it. It's on the Peacock app, and there's a free 7-day trial. If you pay for, you only can get the first episode for the 7-day trial, the free one. Now, if you have a 7-day trial of the $4.99, you can get all the episodes, but there's commercials. And then there's another one that's free for a certain amount of time that you won't get any commercials. I can't remember the price of that, maybe $9.99 or something like that. So just giving you guys a heads up. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I think Daisy's a good character. I think Mack's a good character, and I think probably they'll hook up at some point. Just a hunch, I think. And I'm interested to see what happens with Devontae, and then what the love triangle between Jamie, Aisha, and Lexi will be. I think Slater and Jesse are going to hook up again. I think that's pretty obvious. And then Zach and Kelly will probably continue to make minor appearances in the show because he's the mayor. So he doesn't have time to be associated with Bayside and that. So that's my thoughts on the new Saved by the Bell. Hopefully Mr. Belding makes some sort of appearance. And this new principal, I like the actor, but he's way too over the top. And they need to get Jamie Spano a little bit more like sane and not less fucking stupid, because he just annoyed the crap out of me when I saw him. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're a fan of the Saved by the Bell and you love the series and are looking forward to watching the reboot, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody else that you believe would be interested in listening or watching these videos, share the video to them. Let them know that they can also share it with anybody that they want to. Don't forget to leave me a comment about your thoughts, your score of the episodes, your favorite new character, your favorite old character, whatever you want to put in the comment section. Go ahead and do that. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special. And as you know, J-Dev will return.